Your CD seems like a work of art right by itself, even before you get to the music.
Yeah.
Did you want to kind of explain a little bit? Because
Sure.
I haven't seen a CD like that yet.
Ever, yeah.
Right.
Well, this was designed by Greg Carr, who's a famous designer of all sorts from Denver. And when you get it, it's just folded up in a package like a normal CD, but you start opening it up, and it pops out and Velcros and turns into this. And these lenses here are a stereoscopic lens, which is a Victorian-era technology of seeing 3D pictures. When I was a small child, my grandmother had a stereoscope, which was like these goggles with a handle, and you put these cards in it, and it would be like scenes of the American West, or things like that. So what we did is we put a stereoscope in here, and so you can look through it, and you see these pictures in 3D. You put these cards in it, and you get to see the band in 3D while you listen to the music. And then, obviously, there is a CD with it. It's not just the packaging. But, yeah, this designer, Greg Carr, it was his idea. He's a total evil genius, and he's
I have to agree. Guy. This is brilliant. Now, for those who may be interested in, because they look at you and they go, wow, the guy plays ukulele, and he's got a contract with a record company. Mm-hmm. How does that work? How do I get there?
It's like you just got to do what you love. You just have to do it every day and get really good at it. And if it's what you want to do, it'll work out for you. And obviously, when I went to college and got my master's degree in this and that, I never thought that I would be known for playing the ukulele. If all those French horn lessons my mom paid for, they did.
Oops.
In the master's degree and this and that. But it's just how it works out. And I think if you're being you and working really hard at what you love, you get what you want out of it. So
cool. So what would you say to maybe the kids that are growing up in Janesville and are looking around and don't know how to express themselves and are looking for an outlet, and music may be a good way, maybe it's not music. What would you say to them?
I think you just got to find something you think is interesting and learn everything you can about it and take it and go with it and make it your own. Whether it's comic books or graphic design or music or art or sports or something. Obviously all the things we learn in school help us long term, but the most important thing you can learn in school is just how to learn and how to use your brain. So all those, I thought I was going to be a biologist. So I was taking college level.
You still could be.
I still could be if I wanted to, but I have no interest in it now. But I spent all that time and energy on all those advanced placement biology classes. I should have been taking woodshop if I would have known. But it's fine because you can learn anything you want if you just have your brain ready to do it.
I'm still curious about the connection between the Depression music and today's music, because we're also looking at historical parallels between what we're always lately looking and saying, are we in a depression, are we in a recession? And Janesville clearly is in a harder economic situation than a lot of the other places.
Right.
What lessons do you see that as a historian, not just as a musician, that you see that are maybe applicable to today's world?
Well, what's funny is that one of the reasons that music blossomed in America during the Great Depression is it was the very beginning of the recorded music industry in itself. It was pretty cheap to be able to buy a record of somebody you really liked, and you could go see music for very cheap. And then while you're there, you can spend as little or as much money as you want. And a lot of people were making music just in their homes, having parties in their own homes and doing music that way. And nowadays, the music industry is completely changed and changing overnight. But if the next time Billy Joel comes to Milwaukee, you can pay $280 to go see Billy Joel if you want. But you can go to the Speakeasy and pay a $5 cover and see a band and buy 2 beers for $10. And
there actually is no cover?
Well, there you go. No cover at the Speakeasy. But you see what I'm talking about. People, this kind of level of do-it-yourself music, of out and performing on your own without the help of Epic or Warner Brothers Records or whatever.
So it almost forces the culture and people to be closer.
It does, because when you go see Billy Joel at the Dane County Coliseum with 12,000 of your closest friends, and you're a mile from Billy Joel and you can't see him, and it costs you $280 to see it. I mean, that could be your idea of a great musical experience, but wouldn't you rather be able to sit 5 feet away from the person who's making the music and get a real experience off it? So we're making our living right now playing everywhere from huge festivals to small and large theaters to people's houses. I mean, just wherever you can go to be a part of a group of people who want to see your music. And in a way, the large, huge recording industry that's backing people like Billy Joel, they're freaking out and falling apart because of the internet. People can't figure out how this is all going to change. The same way that when the Depression hit and the recording industry was just starting, they had to figure out how to make it through the Depression. And what they did is they stopped recording opera stars and started recording what they called hillbilly and race records. And that's how we got blues and bluegrass and folk music and western swing and Cajun music on records.
It was cheaper to produce.
It was cheaper
as
to produce.
Right.
I was just in Bristol, Tennessee this weekend at a festival. In Bristol, Tennessee is where Ralph Peer first recorded Jimmy Rogers and the Carter Family about 75 years ago now. And it's the birthplace of American roots country Americana music. It's where this stuff was first recorded. It was pretty cheap to go to Bristol and put an ad in the newspaper and saying, come out of the hills and make a record. And that's what they did. And they figured out people would buy that. They're sick of paying huge orchestras to make records when you could just...
So it's kind of a plug, I suppose, for local art.
It is. And, that's when we travel, we always try to have another local group of musicians play before us, because we want to offer them, what people offer to us, which is those opening spots. And also, but we want to connect with the culture of the people that we're in, and we want to feel like, what's St. Louis like? What's South Side of St. Louis like? Like, what band should we be playing with in the South Side of St. Louis? And where do we go get barbecue beforehand? And, who's the radio people that we need to invite to the show? And, because if we're going to be in your town overnight, we might as well be a part of that community for a night instead of just run in and play the show and go hit the hotel room.
Well, it sounds like you're having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a life. We may not have it may not be making $1 million, but we get to do what we want to do, and that's hardly anybody gets to do that.
So what's next? What for you, or for the music industry, for that matter?
Well, for us, it's just continuing to play shows and make records and travel all over and do it yourself and make connections with people that matter and have fun.
Cool.
And hopefully we get to keep doing it. I keep getting to eat 3 times a day, and I'm still married, and I have a house, and I get to make instruments and play concerts, so it must be okay.
That sounds like a pretty good life. Aaron, thank you so much.
Thanks, Yuri.
Good luck.